So if you missed yesterday's Padres versus Dodgers, I'm going to show it right now. You probably missed a duck flying onto the field, and you can't see me, but I'm putting air quotes around a duck because I'm no bird expert, but that is clearly not a duck. That is a goose. And I think we've all named him. It's not Goose Gossage. That's too easy. That is Gustar Gratterall. Hey everyone, it's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I know I haven't posted one of these in a few days. That's because I was traveling to New York for game one. That was painful. Guardians versus Yankees. But before we talk about Cody Bellinger being benched and all of the recaps from yesterday's games, let's go ahead and talk about the game ones from across baseball. Yordan Alvarez sent this one into orbit. He walked it off on a 3-run shot. Let me know in the comments, who do you think had a better bat flip? Was it Jose Bautista or Yordan Alvarez after walking off the Mariners? And speaking of the Mariners, all of you Seattle fans, please be positive. I feel like Luis Castillo is going to ball out in game number 2. So again, keep your heads up. It is going to be a fun time, in my opinion. The Guardians, they got by Garrett Cole and the Yankees lineup. I saw it in person. As soon as Harrison Bader hit this ball out, I knew that the Guardians' fate would be met soon. Rizzo, he went second deck. They made it 4-1, which, I mean, I'm used to 3-1, so I'm not really worried about losing 4-1. Yankee Stadium was a pleasure, by the way. I only got called a few names a couple times. I thought it was going to be endless. No, Yankee fans and Yankee Stadium overall was an absolute pleasure, and I had a great time. And last but not least, the Phillies, they barely squeaked past the Braves after winning 7-6. They got their hearts almost stomped on after Matt Olson hit a 3-run shot to make it 7-6, but the bullpen, they held on by the chin of their chinny chin chin, whatever that saying is. So 7-6, and they really took that momentum, the Braves did, going into game number 2, but it took a few innings. Kyle Wright and Zach Wheeler, yeah, they held it 0-0 going through 5 innings. They did not allow any damage. Swanson had an insane play to end the top of the 6th as 27-year-old Kyle Wright completed a 6-inning shutout. He was masterful yesterday with 6 strikeouts. Zach Wheeler was so close to basically cloning that stat line from Kyle Wright, but a hit by pitch to Ronald, it started a rally. The Braves, they pull a game 1 Phillies because they beat them at their own game, hitting a bunch of singles for basically death by 1,000 paper cuts. Olsen, Riley, and Darno, they all did their jobs. They put the ball in play, which made John Smoltz very happy. John Smoltz, I will say, he's doing a decent job, but if he says today's game and really discourages launch angle, it's not 1990 anymore, okay? Tony Gwynn, those guys don't exist anymore. No one's going to hit 372. People are throwing 102 from the side with wicked sliders. No one's going to hit 340. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. I would love if John Smoltz stopped complaining, but that is a different topic for a different day. Anyways, the Atlanta bullpen held Philly in check. They only allowed 1 hit over the final 3 innings. Kenley Jansen had a 1-2-3 inning, even though Bryce Harper, I don't know if the ball exactly hit the net, but if you guys watched the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Harper had a second chance at life, but he ended it. So game 3 will be tomorrow. Nola versus undecided. I don't know who's going to be pitching for the Braves. In a perfect world, it would be Spencer Strider, but it's not decided because he does have an injury right now. So if he can pitch on that calf or whatever happened to his lower half, they should be good to go for game 3. But at this point, again, it's undecided. Now, before we talk about Cody Bellinger being benched because he's going up against Blake Snell in game 3, I need to show this clip of Austin Riley making a web gem down the line over at third base. So in my opinion, he is now a top 25 player going into 2023. I can't wait to make that video in a month or 2. So let me know in the comments. Do you think that Austin Riley is a top 25, top 20 player going into the next season? Because on all the lists from the year previously, he wasn't. Manny Machado and Freddie Freeman, they traded some home runs yesterday. Machado and Cronenworth, they answered later in the game after Max Muncy went yard. So again, Machado and Cronenworth, they answered with a few RBIs of their own. So San Diego now leads 3-, okay, never mind. Trey Turner is going to get a bag for what he can do with the stick and on the bases. But I will say his defense, it's not improving, and it really cost the Dodgers yesterday. He put LA and their pitchers in a few jams, including this one right here where Jerks and Profar took advantage of the sloppy defense from Trey Turner. He knocked in a run after Trey's blunder. San Diego put on a show in the bottom of the 6th and turning a double play. So when I say they put on a show, it was a defensive masterclass. Cronenworth was feeling himself after stinking it up in game 1. He made sure his swings counted in game 2. Josh Hader, it didn't look all that pretty, but he got the save, and the San Diego bullpen already has 9 shutout innings in the first 2 games. Now, I will say, San Diego, they would have won bigger had it not been for Cody Bellinger. By the way, Padres fans were calling this a bad read on a routine play. If that's routine, you must have never played past T-ball. No offense to you, but there's something called slice. So he took the perfect drop step. He went to his right. He took slice into account. So the ball was slicing to right field. But because we just brought up Cody Bellinger, yes, The tragic downfall of Cody Bellinger continues. I'm sure there's a video out there with that exact title, like the downfall, the tragic demise of Cody Bellinger. He was pinch hit late in this game. The pinch hitter, Austin Barnes, one of the worst hitters I've ever seen in my life. He's up there with Austin Hedges. So apparently, if you play catcher and your name is Austin, well, aside from Austin Nola, because he kind of rakes as a catcher. But regardless, Austin Barnes is not a better hitter than Cody Bellinger. But Bellinger is 1 for 6 to begin this series. He has 4 strikeouts, and unlike Aaron Judge, who struck out 3 times in game number 1, the track record is not on Cody's side. He has been borderline the worst hitter in baseball since the beginning of 2020. He hit 280 versus lefties in his MVP season back in 2019, but he hit 116 versus lefties in 2021, and this year he hit 213 versus lefties, which is crazy because that was better than his average versus righties, 209. So all across the board, Cody Bellinger has slipped. He is no longer an MVP caliber offensive player. Defensively, he is still a gazelle out there in center field. He can also play a sick first base. So defense is helping him stay in the lineup, but you can't justify him being in a lineup against Blake Snell in game number 3 in a crucial, pivotal, all of those adjectives that scream that you have to have a great game in game 3, otherwise the series could be at risk. Cody Bellinger right now is in the way of that, so they're going to go with Chris Taylor in left field, Trayce Thompson, who hits better against righties, so the matchup isn't even all that great for Trayce Thompson playing over Cody Bellinger. So game 3 is going to be extremely crucial, and they're not even going to use their MVP player, Cody Bellinger, and I just kind of feel bad. It's crazy to say that the 2019 NL MVP, a postseason hero just a season ago when Cody Bellinger went off against the Giants, or maybe it was 2020, I mean, I feel bad. Cody Bellinger, he's had 17 different batting stances, a couple different approaches at the plate, and none of them seem to be working. Yeah, the tragic downfall of Cody Bellinger, it's real. So as baseball fans, I want you guys to let me know in the comments, what do you make of this situation? Do you agree with Dave Roberts benching Cody Bellinger? I mean, again, the fact that he was pinch hit for by Austin Barnes. The only worst hitter in baseball that I can think of is Austin Hedges. I mean, Austin Hedges is 2 for his last 50. I don't even know how he is getting playing time, but I guess Cody Bellinger and Austin Hedges are so good in terms of being defensive wizards that they're going to get playing time. But at some point, you have to kind of say, they've crossed the line. They are now costing us way too much on the offensive side of things, and we can't justify their playing time just because they have a good glove. So let me know all of your opinions. We have game 3, Blake Snell versus Tony Gonsolin. That will be a lot of fun. The same with Nestor Cortez versus Shane Bieber. I feel like the Guardians have the advantage, but it is very slim. Nestor Cortez is an absolute baller. And then also we have another game 2, Framber Valdez versus Luis Castillo. I feel like Castillo has the edge because even though Framber Valdez has the major league record for most consecutive quality starts, which is important going into the playoffs, Luis Castillo, I feel like his ceiling is a little bit higher. So hopefully the Mariners can grab game 2 and we have a full 5-game series, because that will be a lot of fun to watch. But thank you guys for watching. To end today's video, 21 years ago today, Derek Jeter made the flip, and also 20 years ago, 2 decades, Adam Kennedy had 3 home runs in a single playoff game, which was a lot of fun to watch.
Wait for a gapper. That is Stan on his way to third, and they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man, shot into the plate. Oh, ever seen by a shortstop. Both cut.
Third, Mays delivers. AK rips one into right field. 2 pitch. There's a high drive. It's lifted out there into right center field. And 10's 0-2 pitch is hit in the air into right center field. Back on the ball, Dustin Moore. He has homered.